Hey everybody, it's Eric. We're going to talk quickly this morning about different types of rootstocks, but specifically maiden roses. This is my little rose nursery from what I've ordered this spring on my deck, and I predominantly get things on Fortuniana because of our sandy soil here, but occasionally I'll get something on Dr. Huey. You can see this is from Weeks via Witherspoon with the long shank. And again, a lot of these over here are on Dr. Huey. Occasionally I'll get it on Multiflora. I love Palatine roses. I think it's pretty hard to beat their root system when we're talking about mail order roses. Just phenomenal stuff. Sometimes I've gotten what's called a maiden rose, and this is pretty darn cool. Steve Singer sells these at Wisconsin Roses. I'll put the link below. And what a maiden rose is, it's really like a baby rose. This is Louise Estes. Let me turn this around here so we'll get the sun to illuminate it a little bit better. So what a maiden rose is, it's grafted on Multiflora. Usually order them in the summer and you'll get them the following spring. I do recommend to order early because Steve sells out sometimes. And what it is, this is a wild Multiflora plant there. I haven't perfected grafting yet myself, but the graft or the bud eye will be grafted onto the side of the Multiflora. And right here where you see this cut, that was the top of the Multiflora plant. So you'll get them in the spring, a little teensy bud eye, and lots of leaves on top, and that's the Multiflora. You cut that off, and over the course of the next couple weeks, that bud eye will sprout and will grow your first maiden cane, and that's why it's called a maiden rose. And again, I just think baby rose. The advantage of this is you can get some unique varieties from Steve in terms of exhibition roses, but also since you're growing it from a maiden rose to a full bush and you're not shipping it, it won't be cut down, it won't be chopped up or damaged in shipping, or some of the issues you have with mail order roses. They're great, but they're still transporting it across the country. Whereas here, you're growing it in your own 2-gallon pot, so when it's ready to go in the ground, little shock moving it versus digging it up and mailing it across the country. One thing you can do with any rose, maiden or any roses you get, I like to pinch off the first couple blooms. So this is my first cane, and there was a bud on the end, and I pinched it off so that the energy of the bush would go to developing it, the bush itself and not the flower, because it takes a lot of energy to produce a flower. And look what's happened. A lot of new canes on top, and if you look at the bottom with the bud eye, there's actually 3 chances for it to develop, and the first one is the cane, the first maiden cane. But if you look really carefully, there's a bud eye that's pushing out here. I'm gonna rotate this around. You can see this one more clearly, and there's one right there. So over the next couple of weeks, those will develop into substantial canes, and I'll have 3. In fact, by mid-summer here, maybe fall in some other areas, this will be a grade 3 or grade 1 rose, which means 3 substantial canes. And so by the middle part of the summer here, this maiden rose will be just like you would get in the mail, except again, you're not having to worry about transportation or cutting it to fit into a box. So pretty neat stuff here. I'll put the website below. I love these maiden roses. This is Louise Estes. If you do get them, note that even similar varieties can lag. These are both Louise Estes, and you notice these leaves aren't quite as dark green, and at this point I only have 1 cane coming out. The other one sprouted and didn't do too much, so I'm waiting on the 3rd one to develop. That's okay. This one in a couple weeks may be ahead of this one. Things just move at a different pace. So it's really neat, kind of a neat project. You can watch it grow through the spring and the summer, and we will update you. This is what it looks like end of May, and in a couple more weeks I'll do another video, and I can pretty much guarantee you with this growth coming out of the bottom, you're going to see some long canes and a developed bush in a rather short period of time. So comment below, have you ever grown a maiden rose before? What are some of your favorite places to get roses from? I think the benefit of this is you can grow it, again, from a small maiden rose into a large plant at your own house, so you're not having to worry about moving it across the country. Have you ever tried it before? This is something that you may be interested in, especially if you're looking for some of those higher end exhibition roses. So again, provide any comments or feedback below. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.